Hello, beekeepers. This morning I thought I'd talk a little bit about things you're going to need for beekeeping. You're going to need transportation. Yep, definitely going to need some kind of transportation. You're going to need to have a place to put your bees. And of course, you're going to have the hive stand there and probably 2 beehives like that. Then you have to have a place to put them, right? That's what we started with. Yeah, this is my stump garden. So you might want some level space, because if you don't, you're going to need boots like these when it gets muddy. And you're going to need a bee suit. Yeah, I use painter pants I get at Home Depot or someplace like that, other big box stores. You'll need a electric fence if you're in a place like me where we have bears. Now, if you have losses, then you need to have some storage space to put things in. And if you aren't prepared, it becomes unwieldy. So I got all kinds of storage places and stuff that, yeah, had some dead outs. It happens, folks. If it doesn't happen the first year, the second year, the third year, it'll happen some year. Yeah. Then you have to have some place to put your beehives. If you got some honey still on them you want them cleaned out, it needs to be a ways from the bee's yard, probably about 300 feet or more. I think it's more like half a mile, probably good. So in your beehive, you're going to need a brood chamber. It's like this one down here, a bottom board, which is that right there, a food chamber for the bees, and then you're going to need a super for honey, at least one. Inside these are frames with the honey, the bees be able to put the honey in, or their brood or whatever. So yeah, that means that there's 10 here, 10 here, 10 here. So that's 30 frames right there. Need a, that's not what I was thinking it was, but I'll show you one in a minute. These do come in handy if you want to block off a hive. Keep something from getting into it. Say you had a dead out and you didn't want all your bees getting in there and robbing it all out before you had a chance to take care of it. Then you'll need a toolbox. In your toolbox, you're going to need a frame divider to put the frames together equally. You're going to need a hive tool. There's a couple kinds. There's another one there. A bee brush. Yep. And then you're going to need some mite treatment. That's an old varroa mite treatment. Apivar. Here's a test kit for mites. And I have a beetle mix here for catching small hive beetles, which, let's see, yeah, hive beetle traps, need those. Feeder lids, honey lids, by the way. You're probably going to need a few nuke boxes. When you have dead outs, you have to have a place to store stuff like this. Oh, I didn't talk about the inner cover. There's the inner cover, you have to have that. And behind the inner cover I saw was a feeder. That's a frame feeder, goes in there, replaces one of the frames. Let's see if we can crash. Hey, this is an impromptu. Yeah, there's a frame feeder. It goes up and you fill it up with sugar water. yeah, sugar water costs money too. And of course, there's a smoker. Another frame feeder here. That's it. I use coffee cans to put whatever I'm working with. If I need to put some wax in it, I put the wax in it. Here's that entrance reducer. It goes in the beehive at the entrance. Need containers of all kinds for putting sugar, making sugar water or whatever. I use jars for storing things. I'm usually in bins to put things like your matches or your fire making stuff. Yeah, I gotta go get some more pine straw for my smoker. That's another thing you're gonna need. So let's see what else. Oh, your bee suit. I told you already. I got these painter pants, which work really good. And let's go inside and see what we got in there. All kinds of storage stuff we need. Places we have. Oh, yeah. Let's go up here. Let's go upstairs. There's stuff up there too. I know I'm disorganized, but I'm only one person. I got old. 81 years old, this becomes a lot harder. So, looks like something fell over here. But yeah, I got all kinds of storage from the dead outs I had a couple years ago. And by the way, not included in that is storage at a food bank. It cost me $20 a month down in Clayton, Georgia. A whole pallet of honey just for the bees. So yeah, that's something else I've got. And I have to do it. I'll probably donate some honey to them in lieu of giving them a couple $100 to store that stuff. And here in the basement we got some other things. Here's another type of feeder, pail feeders. Yep, they got, well here, this goes in the top. And you turn this upside down and the sugar water drains into the top of the beehive. And of course, when you do that, you have to have something to cover that up, so that's another box. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, the extractor. There's a couple $1,000 worth right there. Yeah. And then, of course, the bee suit. And I've gone through, 3 or 4 sets of gloves over time. I've only had one bee suit, though. And here we got some extra frames we want to put together to use in the beehives. Should I ever need them again? I think I've got plenty right now. I'm looking to see what else is in here. Yep, oh yeah, lids. You're gonna need those for your honey jars. And you got all kinds of honey jars. You screen for various things about the keep vermin out of your beehives. There's just bunches of things you use screen for, like let's see, a robbing screen. You can make a robbing screen and stuff like that. Oh, here's something else. Oxalic acid. You got treatments for mite control. Here's something else. Let's see what this. What is that? Oh yeah. Cell cup. And 100 of them in there. I've had them so long I forgot what they are. Okay. Daisies. Huh. I'm at a loss there. I haven't used them for a while. I'm sure that's something for bees. Yeah. Let's see. I think that's about it, folks. I do a little art too. Yeah. I do a little bit of everything. Woodworking, what have you. See, I got tools. And that's why I'm disorganized. I do a little photography. Yeah, I got some of that too. Need work to done in the basement still. Still working on that. I do have a nice wood stove though. Let's check this out here. Let's see how she's doing. Whether I need to put more wood in. Yeah, looks like we do. But it's warm. Yes, it is. I think so. So you have storage area that you might not have considered when you're getting into beekeeping. And the reason I have all this is because when I started, I only wanted to have a couple beehives to make honey for myself. Well, what happens is the bees multiply. They're a super organism. So they get more and more bees and then they swarm. So you have to prevent them by making another beehive. You get another queen and you lose some of your bees and brood and honey and make another hive. So you begin to get multiples beehives, and you think, oh, I could actually make a little money at this because it's so easy to get more hives. And pretty soon you got 45 hives like I did. Then in about your 5th year of beekeeping, you discover that they all die because you didn't do something. Yeah, because the yellow jackets got in them, small hive beetles got in them, the mites got in them. You didn't check this. They froze, or they got too cold because you didn't take care of the hives right, or maybe the small hive beetles got in there and you didn't get them out. Let's see. It was cold one day and it snowed the next, or it rained and rained and rained. You got too much moisture in the hives. You're just plain tired. If you're old like me, you just get plain tired. So go cautiously. Oh yeah, you might need to buy a swarm trap, because when they swarm, you hope they at least go in a box that you have out there, or you might catch somebody else's swarm, especially whenever you're thinking about expanding your hives. So Bob Benny has told me and others that if you want to expand your beehives, you shouldn't go more than 1/3 of what you got the next year. And I did that, and pretty soon I had 45 hives, which is too much for me to take care of anymore. I had 2 different yards. Oh, you might need a second yard to move a hive because, well, if you just move it inside your same bee lot, your same bee apiary, they all might start robbing the new hive because it's weaker. And so there are things you can do to keep them in there, like shut them down, block it off the hive and leave them for 24 hours, or stuff a bunch of grass in the entrance, and that'll keep them kind of from they gotta look and see where they're at again. They have to reorient. So yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hives here that are active now, and I probably won't get any more than that. If I do, I'll sell them this year. These other boxes are just stored, and I leave them here because I never know when I'm gonna need a box, and I don't have to go running up to the house to get it. So if you want to go into beekeeping, keep in mind you're gonna need some space. You're gonna need to do a lot of effort. You gotta worry about whether your neighbor is allergic to bees, or if you're allergic to bees. There's all kinds of things you gotta worry about. Now, keep in mind, honeybees pollinate 1/3 of our food in the United States. So, and there's probably other places too, other places in Europe, 1/3 of their food too. So it's important that we maintain bees, but you don't want to get in too deep over your head. That dog barking, isn't he, Charlie?